Now that I'm done choking on literally everything that makes me me, I don't know why liquids can kill us. Why is the one thing required to keep us alive also lethal to us when it goes down the wrong goddamn pipe? Anyway, we need to talk about Elon Musk. We need to talk about a lot of Elon Musk. And I know, none of you want to hear about Elon Musk, but we do have to take a look at what he's been doing recently. But before we get into that specifically, let's check out the fan art section. This one is from, says Snowy. My first addition to the fan art, I am bringing back a long-forgotten character. Say hello to Tail-chan. I was not aware that my tail was alive, but I guess it is. Fair enough. As always, thank you all for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the Musk stuff. So, I have a question for you. Do you think that Musk is doing a good job taking care of the finances of the United States government? Cutting the money where he says he needs to? No? Well, that's interesting. Let me know in the comment section below why you think that. You do? You do believe he's doing a good job? That's also interesting. Maybe let me know in the comment section why you're wrong. Here, let me go ahead and play a little bit of what he wants to do, what things he thinks need to be cut for the United States budget to balance.
The waste and port in entitlement.
Man, that's weird. That's weird that I could barely hear him. I'm so happy that volume is normalized on websites that definitely have the ability to normalize audio. Anyway,
the waste and port in entitlement spending, which is which is most of the federal spending is entitlements. So that's like the big one to eliminate, because that's the sort of $500 billion, maybe $700 billion a year. All
right, so some of you may not have caught that, so let's go over what he said. He said that we need to get rid of the entitlement spending. Okay, so he wants to annex our entitlement programs, or, cut away our entitlement programs. What is an entitlement program? Because not a lot of us have heard that exact phrase before. Well, I did some digging for you, just in case you didn't know. Entitlement programs play a crucial role in the U.S. federal budget by providing support and benefits to individuals, both citizens and certain non-citizens who meet specific criteria such as age, income, or disability. Oh, that's Social Security, that's unemployment, and that's disability. That's what that is. That is Elon Musk telling you, the American people who voted not for him, but for the person in office right now who lets him run rampant in the U.S. government. That is him telling you that your Social Security, when it comes time for that to happen, unless you already have it, your disability, which you may already have right now if you are unlucky or lucky enough, depending on where that silver lining is for you, any of that right now, or your unemployment if you are in between jobs, those are the things that need to be taken away from you. This is also SNAP. This is Social Security. This is food stamps, Medicare, Medicaid. This is any medicine whatsoever that is subsidized by the government right now. If you, as of right now, have healthcare and it is subsidized by the government, that is what Elon wants to remove. He wants to fuck over your life. That's what he wants to do. No ifs, ands, or buts. His exact words are, we need to get rid of the entitlement programs because they make up so much of our federal spending. Now, of course, Elon Musk has never been poor. Elon Musk has never been without. He inherited his wealth from an emerald mine, And he's been coasting off of it ever since. He is not a genius, though I have seen people who I otherwise respect claim he is one. He is not a genius. He is an idiot with a high capacity for thinking of lots of things before he gets bored of them. That's not genius level intellect. That's ADHD and autism at play. Elon Musk wants to make sure that despite the fact that he will never have to rely on these programs, because he has always been fed with a silver fucking spoon, that you, who were not a person who had the opportunity to be born the right way, basically be born with money, you do not deserve any money whatsoever. You do not deserve to be taken care of. You as an individual are not worth his time and consideration. Now, does this mean that companies will start paying a living wage? Fuck no. No, they won't. Companies only pay a living wage when we force them to. Companies only pay a living wage when we fight them to. Elon here is telling you that if you've barely been scraping by on SSI, well, I guess we need to gut that away from you. You don't need that. Kazooie says, don't you guys also pay into entitlements? Yes. Our taxes go into it. I've paid into entitlements. I've looked on the Social Security website to see if I am entitled to SSI when I hit the ripe old age of whenever the fuck they agree that I'm allowed to start getting money from there, and I have paid in enough. You have to be working full-time for like 10 years or so, and you put in that money, and then you're able to get SSI. I have put in the time, the blood, the sweat, the taxes, in order to earn that right when I am old and need to be taken care of. But not according to Musk. According to Musk, no amount of blood, sweat, or tears is enough for any of us. No amount of work that any of us have done is enough to pay for taking care of us when we are older, when we are infirm, when we are between jobs, when we just simply need to be fucking fed. And oh, by the way, the food stamp program is not for your benefit or my benefit. It is a farmer's subsidy. While yes, people who need money for food benefit greatly from these kinds of programs, supplemental nutrition programs, the people who these programs are built for are the farmers who need the subsidy to keep doing their jobs. So he doesn't just want to fuck over you. He wants to fuck over our entire agricultural industry as well. This is a man who should never be allowed near a goddamn purse, because he will fucking steal it. But don't worry, there are some people doing God's work right now. As of 5 hours ago, Twitter has been getting hit over and over again by DDoS attacks. Things that are technically illegal, but I am 100% willing to endorse. Elon Musk says Twitter has been hit by a massive cyber attack on Monday, after thousands of users in the UK and the US reported outages. Musk, who has owned the platform since 2022, suggested the attack may be ongoing. As it should be. He says, we get attacked every day, but this was done with a lot of resources. Yeah, gee, I wonder what kinds of things you may have done that would have prompted people to start an ongoing attack on you. I don't know, Elon.
The waste report in entitlement spending, which is which is most of the federal spending is entitlements. That's like the big one to eliminate, because that's the sort of $500 billion, maybe $600-700 billion a year.
Man, again, Elon, I wonder why in the world would anybody want to attack your websites? Why in the world would anybody want to attack your websites? It's not like you're trying to actively steal from every American citizen who's paid taxes in the last amount of time living. Weird. Weird, that. Anyway, things get even more interesting when we look at who Elon Musk is blaming for this. Because somehow, some way, he found a way to Hunter Biden laptop this shit, but just swap Hunter Biden's laptop with Ukraine. He has pointed the finger at Ukraine for causing outages on Monday. Tens of thousands of users reporting their outages on his websites and his apps. The pro-Palestinian hacker group Dark Storm Team claimed responsibility for the DDoS attack on the platform, according to a public Telegram post. This group is known primarily for targeting countries and entities that support Israel's attack on Gaza, following Hamas's surprise attack on October 7th. Musk suggested instead that a large, coordinated group and/or country is involved in the massive hack. Musk later told Larry Kudlow during an interview on Fox News that the hackers had IP addresses originating from the Ukraine area. So, according to Musk, the person to blame here is not the group that literally said, yeah, we fucking did it. The person he wants to blame effectively is Zelensky. Elon Musk, this dude, this absolute clown of a human being, wants to lay the blame at a political opponent more than, I don't know, random people like you and I who possibly could be to blame for this. That is not saying that you, me, or anybody in this chat has done any of this shit, but it's astounding to me that instead of accepting the possibility that a hacker group that claimed that they did it were actually involved, he instead chooses to go with what is very possibly a fantasy based entirely on the fact that Trump wants to pose us, the United States, as rivals of Ukraine. Do you think he's still jaded at the fact that after he sent Starlink to Ukraine to help them in their war effort against Russia, that he tried to make them pay for it, and the entire world stage came down on him saying, what the fuck are you doing? This wasn't supposed to be a fucking business transaction. This was you lending support to an ally in need, not a fucking sales pitch. Do you think he's still jaded about that? Do you think that may be why he's doing that? Because I would assume that a man with his amount of insecurities, 100%, is petty enough to do that. Now, the funny thing is you can definitely see that this man would be struggling with how best to approach all of his political fucked-uppery lately. Why would he be struggling? Well, it's almost as if his investors are bailing on him. Associated Press has a article here. Tesla tumbles again as investors bail on Elon Musk's suddenly struggling electric vehicle company. Now, aside from the fact that anybody who sees one of his vehicles out in the wild can just call them the Cybercucks, shares of Tesla slid again Monday as confidence in Elon Musk's electric car company continued to disintegrate following a post-election Trump bump. Tesla shares tumbled 15.4%, down to $222 per share, which is the lowest their shares have traded for since late October, reflecting investors' newfound pessimism in the automaker's as the automaker's sales crater around the globe. Monday's decline, Tesla's steepest since September 2020, came with Wall Street in the midst of a sell-off caused by uncertainty over the Trump administration's trade policies. Many analysts have attributed Tesla's sagging stock and auto sales to Musk's support of Donald Trump. And other far-right candidates around the world as well, but mostly Trump. Musk, who dumped $270 million into Donald Trump's campaign heading into the 2024 election, appeared on stage with him and cheered Trump's victory over Democratic candidate Kamala Harris. Tesla stock soared to $479 per share by mid-December, but have since tumbled back down to earth, losing a whole 40% of their value. Musk has become the face of the Trump administration's slash-and-burn government downsizing efforts, known as the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. The department has promised massive federal worker layoffs and aims to drastically reduce government spending. Analysts have said that Musk's shift to right-wing politics doesn't sit well with potential Tesla buyers, generally perceived to be wealthy, environmentally conscious liberals who have turned to electric vehicles in an attempt to reduce fossil fuel emissions. Tesla sales are falling in California, which is the company's biggest U.S. market, and the company recorded its first annual global sales decline last year. Similarly, Tesla sales plunged 45% in Europe in January, according to research firms Jado Dynamics, even as overall electric vehicle sales rose. So people are buying electric vehicles still. They're just looking at Musk and saying, fuck you, not this one. The sales numbers were particularly bad in Germany and France. Yeah, Germany's not big on Nazis anymore, guys. Of course, Germany's not going to be buying your fucking Nazi mobiles. Now, Wall Street analysts are concerned about a drop in Tesla deliveries in the U.S. analyst at UBS Global Research and expected deliveries to fall 5% in their first quarter and full year compared to the same period in 2024. So, okay, this is a man, and this paints a really good picture. This is a man whose companies are in freefall. This is a man whose livelihood is not really at risk, but his finances are certainly not looking as great as they were, a couple of years ago. And this man who's getting attacked on all sides, at least sides of people who are sane, because of the actions he's taking, is saying, well, I'm just going to take all of your money by cutting your Social Security, by cutting your food benefits, by cutting your benefits you receive for being injured or disabled. I'm going to cut all of that away. That's what this man does. I'm just curious here. I'm just curious. If you were a Tesla owner right now, would you still be one at this moment? Like, if you bought one back before Elon became a crazy right-wing nut job who talks about cutting away things that allow your grandma to be able to afford to live, would you still keep his vehicles right now? Would you still be on his platform? I'm gonna be honest. This is where we get into the what can we do about this. I think the first thing we need to do is very, very simple. I think it's time to quit Twitter. That's the first thing. Twitter, X, whatever the hell. If you're still on it, ask yourself a very, very important question. Why? Why are you still on his platform? Why are you still giving his platform engagement? Why are you still allowing the positive light that is your existence to be a beacon of anything on his platform? Now, I've basically stopped using his platform for a while now. I've uninstalled it from my phone, and I've very rarely checked into it on my computer. For the most part, the only thing I use it for is checking an article once or twice, or the 2 people that I'm friends with that talk to me only on that platform. I've used it for that. But I don't think any of us need to be advertised to on that platform anymore. I don't think any of us should be logging into that platform anymore. I know this is a very liberal vote with your wallet thing, but honestly, the very first thing most of us can do is either delete our Twitter accounts or straight up hop off of Twitter and no longer engage with the platform and allow the platform to just collapse into the AI-filled, right-wing idiot-filled, nutjob-filled cave that it's become. And to let it just be that. Also, Majinai Boo, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. Now, obviously, there's other things you can do as well. For those of you who have had the opportunity to attend town hall meetings and stir up shit with people in town halls, that's definitely a wonderful thing you can be doing at the moment. Also, right now, I think most of us can agree that we have an unelected idiot running a lot of stuff in our office as of this moment. And we don't need that. We don't need to live in that particular world. So, if you want to tell your congressperson that you don't need to live in that world, then here's a lazy way out. Use ResistBot and go ahead and build up letters to send to your congressman. And send them as often as you can, as often as you want, to let them know that you do not appreciate what's going on in the federal government and they need to be doing what they can to protect you. Because you are going to need that Social Security. You are going to need that unemployment. You are going to need those government benefits that you have paid into for years. Also, 5 calls is there if you want to get a little more personal by just harassing your people directly. If you want to get involved in politics, which right now I really don't think there's an excuse not to, go ahead and check out Democratic Socialist of America. Find a chapter near you, get involved with them, see what help they need. See if they have people to put into the seats for your local government so that we can make sure that every single seat that has been unopposed and has just been colored red as a default at least has somebody fighting against them and somebody who is not a limp dick liberal. But if you are wanting to work more on the liberal side of things, there is Mobilize. Now, I do want to let you know that if you're an Android user, the Mobilize app has seemed to be basically broken. So you're going to have to work using the browser version of it for the most part if you're an Android user. I was trying to figure this shit out the other day. But Mobilize will also have your local Democratic Party and other people who you can get involved with. Where I am right now, there's the Cherokee Democrats meeting, African American Caucus monthly meeting. There was also a thing here which was youth take on the Capitol, but I don't see that here anymore. But that was the thing that I saw when I was checking a couple of days ago. That all said, these are areas where you can get yourself involved right now. Because the best way that we can fight against the way the government's operating at the moment is to actively metamorphosize what the government is. And if you do not know anybody around you that has your political beliefs, then maybe head over to Reddit and go to r/50501, where you can find people who are protesting in your area, because while I may believe wholeheartedly that protesting changes nothing, it does put people who will learn how to organize together better in close proximity with one another. That said, let me know what you are going to be doing. Because where I'm sitting, I'm going to be working with my local Democrats, and I am going to be running for councilman here in my local area. Because I'm tired of that seat being ran only by Republicans. I want to see what we can do to make sure that there are more people on the left in control of various aspects of our government. And we can't win any of those seats if we do not fight for those seats. Let me know what you're going to do in the comments section below. That all said, if you have enjoyed this video, please get the fuck off of Twitter and go follow me over on Blue Sky. If you want to listen to what I talk about besides politics, then please consider checking out my Magic the Gathering channel. Please consider supporting me over on Patreon, picking up the channel playmat if you want to support me with just a one-time thing. Please consider subscribing to this channel and checking out my streams Monday through Thursday. That all said, thank you all for watching, and insert end of video tagline here. Hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. I really could not do any of this without all of you. Those of you watching, and especially those of you who support me on Patreon. I wanted to go ahead and take a minute to thank all of you who do that, because with YouTube being what it is these days, I really cannot do this full time without the support from each and every one of you. Those people would be Red Joker, Purple Poundini, Jemshin, Britzkrieg, Jupe the Malignant, Michael, Ravalern, Mabbity Babbity, Astral Frontier, Tales of Atonement, Nixie Chan, Kiri Artemis, Victorian Alchemist, I'm not saying the last part of that, and you know that, Arcton Arclacier, Kiratorian, Dren Hadamata, Jordan M, John L, Lord Bleck, Smiling Game Master, and Fireshard. Thank you so very much. But since you're here, why not go ahead and try watching another one? There should be one that's on the screen right now. And if you are a patron of mine, I wanted to go ahead and thank you again for all of your support. There is still a video you could press though, if you'd like. I would appreciate it just a little bit.